I should be welcoming you to Homa Bay, and I'm really, really excited that we are fixing the nation from Homa Bay today and this week. And it's also a significant day because today is the World Youth Day. And later this morning, to commemorate this day, we will be launching the Homa Bay Youth Policy at the Tomboya University. This we have done together with Shofco, with Dr. Ken Odede and his team. I think it's really, and it's really apt to the theme of this year's Devolution Conference, because this year's Devolution Conference is for the people, for prosperity. We're talking about inclusion, we're talking about social justice, and we're talking about equity. And the Devolution Conference starts right on the World Youth Day, which means if you're talking inclusion, we're talking how do we bring young people, not superficially, not just by talking, but how do we really have young people mainstreamed at the center of devolution and our county government operations. So I'm really excited to have you guys, and I'm hoping you'll experience Homa Bay. The last 2 days, we've been on a blast, Bana, because we had the marathon, the Rowan Antelope Marathon yesterday. I wanted to run the 21 kilometers, lakini I saw a bus from Elgeyo Marakwet.
Not today.
Then I said, no.
Kila mtu talent yake.
Eric anataka kuona the Rowan Antelope specifically. He's been on the mentioning
Homa National Park. You know, the one thing that you've done is you have marketed that thing so well. Homa National Park, come and see the Rowan Antelope. It's endemic to Homa Bay. Nongoja.
The quote.
Please give her the quote.
The quote today, Honorable Wanga says, governance isn't measured by promises made, but by promises kept. And it's a quote by Graça Machel. She made it around the year 2010. So it's about promises made. It's about not promises made, but promises kept. And I know in the course of the hour and in the course of this show, we'll talk more about the promises that have been kept and maybe the ones that have been made, but what's standing in the way of fully keeping them. But just off the top of your head, how do you resonate with that quote?
I think it's apt because for us who are elected, we make a lot of promises. When you're looking for election, particularly when you're getting close to the election date, you make many promises. Some you reflect on later and say, hey, you know, you know? But I'm glad that we've had a chance in Homa Bay to keep a lot of the promises that we made. Not all. It's just a short, we are on 25th of August, will be 3 years in. So we've kept a number of promises, but not all. One which we've kept, just off the top of my head, is we said Homa Bay will never be read from the bottom. You know, we will not have a county that is demeaned and read from the bottom, because one of the roles of a governor in the County Governments Act is to make your county competitive for investments. You take your competitive advantages and show them off. And if fixing the nation is beaming to the nation from Homa Bay, it means that's a promise that we are in the process of keeping. If Eric is talking about going to the Ruma, which before nobody spoke about, then I think we are keeping that promise. One day and one talk at a time, one conversation at a time.
And to your credit, you also rank like always at the top of best performing governors. So you are keeping that promise. And it's a good place to start with just the Homa Bay experience. As you've said, a lot of people wanasikia kuna island inaitwa Takawiri. Haya, wanasema iko wapi? Iko Homa Bay. Okay, Homa Bay iko wapi? Unafika Kisumu alafu unaenda hivi. Ama unatoka. Let's give us the Homa Bay experience as a first timer. I know for you it's home, but if you were experiencing Homa Bay. In Homa Bay, by the way. If you were experiencing Homa Bay as a visitor, where would you begin?
Excellent. So, the last 2 days, as I said, we had many guests around here, and we told them we want to experience Homa Bay, and we took just one route of it. So, so we left the bay here in Homa Bay. By the way, Homa Bay is 2 words.
Yes.
Homa, hills, and the bay.
So see Homa ya Hachu.
Debunking the first myth.
If you don't have the bay, then it's Q. And for a long time it was just Homa because the lakefront, you couldn't quite see it. You couldn't quite approach it because many cities on the lake have turned their back to it because, you know, in the olden days they thought the evil spirits came from the lake, so people turned their backs to it. But now we are turning Homa Bay to face the lake, which is what most world bay cities, do because those are prime plots. So we've created, together with the national government, the bay. So now we are Homa Hills and the bay. So we left from the bay here, where you can have the best fish in the country. I can say that for sure. And
Janet and I already...
We sampled some last night with Mariam over dinner.
Excellent.
It was the biggest fish. We had to share one. We were like, Inyam
Yeah, so you can have some of the best fish here. Then we drove over to the Mbita Bridge. There were some cyclists, around, just cycling and having fun. So we flagged them off there. Then we went to the Tomboya Mausoleum. Tomboya came from Homa Bay on Rusinga Island. Yes. And as you know, we have Barack Obama, the president, because of Tomboya. Many people may not know that Tomboya Kennedy airlifts are the ones that took Barack Obama Sr. From here to the United States. And it's because of Tomboya that now we had the first black American president. So we went to the mausoleum just to be reminded of that history. Then we went to the beautiful Rusinga Lodge. I tell you, it is beautiful. You can sleep there. Then we took the water bus and went to the Island of Love, Takawiri.
Island of Love.
I know, yes. And as we went to the Island of Love, we passed the Birds Islands. We have thousands of species of birds, and we have 2 islands facing each other there that are there. So for bird lovers, they can come and do some bird watching on the Bird Islands. Then we went on to Takawiri. Takawiri actually is a white sandy beach island. We had our lunch there. Then we took the water bus again to a place called Sindo. Then we went all the way to the Homa National Park. We had high tea in the park. We were camped out there in the tents, and then we took a game drive. We saw some giraffe. Homa National Park has the highest number of the white sock Rothschild giraffe, over 700 of them in the Homa. We saw some buffaloes and some rhinos, and we didn't manage to see the antelope, Eric. The antelope is very shy. So you have to
give it its time.
You have to have patience.
Only 27 of them in the sanctuary. Okay. So you have to really be patient, and maybe when you wake up early, you can see see them coming to drink water as the sun begins.
Was this in a day? You're talking about an experience that was sort of like set up for a day.
For a day.
But that's a smart package idea. It's like if you have a day or two, I think you've talked about how you can kind of... Before we come back to that, you've said something interesting about the city and creating it to make sure that it's facing the waters, right? Which speaks to, I'm trying to understand what your vision is for Homa Bay, because I think, yes, you've captured history, you've captured culture, you've captured, maybe in a sense, modeling it after certain cities that face the water. Is there a specific model that stands out for you in terms of, I like what this city or country did in a certain part of the world, and that's what I'm emulating, or what is your vision for Homa Bay to be a what kind of county to be remembered for?
We're hoping to be the Cape Town of Kenya.
Okay.
Because we have the longest stretch of Lake Victoria. 80% of Kenya's Lake Victoria is in Homa Bay. So we have a very, very long stretch of the beach. And in another 10 years, we hope to be a city. And the Cape Town, if you asked which city we are modeling after, the Cape Town of Kenya. And what we've done with that, so one of the things that happened is along the lakefront, there are government offices. So a small office of maybe carrying 30 people sitting on 7 acres of land. The rest of the land, it has broken down vehicles and so on, scrap metal, and so on and so forth. So one of the things that we've done to be able to clear out the lakefront for hospitality is to build a new county government headquarters. And this will be officially opened tomorrow by His Excellency the President. And the new county government headquarters is out towards the airport. And what we're trying to do is to move the town in terms of administration and so on, that way. Then leave the lakefront for investment in hospitality. Today, guests are here. I think nobody can find no room in Homa Bay. You know, there's no space. So what we're saying is we're going to be offering some of this land as incentive, you know, leasing it as incentive to investors who can do good facilities. So the lakefront will be for hospitality. Then there will be, you know, commercial activities around here. Then we hope administration will move out there. Then in another decade, we hope we can have the Homa Bay city. That is the Cape Town of Kenya.
Okay.
I love
That's
that.
really well broken down, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, when I think Cape Town, I think of like their standard thing, which is like the wine tours. Then there's also like the art districts and things like that. What would you say is Homa Bay's, not even equivalent, because we cannot compare, because Homa Bay is, you know, it's, yes, but what's the art side? Homa Bay is a beauty on its own. What's the art side of this side of Homa Bay?
So I think our strength is in music, in terms of art. We have, you know, some of the, you know, young, upcoming, very, very strong musicians. And we have set up a department of talent. We have a talent director who is himself a musician, Onyi Papaje, you know, of the Jiggy 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 Nyamama, Tatina Nyamasai. So he is the talent director. So we have that music side that we are nurturing very, very much. I think that would be our strength. And when you stay here for the Devolution Conference, you will see a lot of our music.
The website, there's a website, the Homa Bay. I'm trying to see how people can also get an understanding. I'd come across a website called Homa Bay what was it? Homa Bay County. Is it something that homabay.go.ke? Is that something active and updated that people can learn more about?
Yes, that's our county website. It's updated, but the experience is also on the Devolution Conference website, itineraries of what people could do, where people could go. There is the Simbi Nyaima, which is a mythical crater lake. We have the Bala Hot Springs. So people could go to all these areas and experience during this period.
There's also a volcano. I'm realizing it's a lot to have, you know, mountain and water side by side, and then you have the animals, you have art. It's all happening, you know, like all together. And I know bringing it all together must be a lot of work. I'm thinking from an economic perspective as well. What do the people of Homa Bay do? And what is becoming the new, would I say, attraction as far as investments are concerned? Let me use the word attraction.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very good point. Last year we had an investment conference here, and we were showcasing, you know, what people could come and do for investment. And Homa Bay is an agricultural county, so we are in agriculture and the blue economy. So we have our key value chains of cotton, edible oils. In Homa Bay, anywhere you drop nuts, they will grow. So we have groundnuts. We have sunflower. We are the largest producer of nuts, largest producer of sunflower, second largest producer of cotton in the country, the largest producer of sweet potatoes. We also have some of the sweetest pineapples here. But for it to make sense to the people, because this is about the people, this is about somebody with their 1 acre, 2 acres, we are setting up a special economic zone, which is already gazetted. It's called the Riwa Special Economic Zone. So we are looking for investments to come in for value addition. So we already have an investor who would like to do value addition on the cotton value chain. Actually, not one, 2 investors who would like to do value addition on cotton. And what we've done is given our farmers cotton input, seeds and pesticides, so that they're able to up their production. And we've seen the production increase from 2022. It's increased steadily. The only county ahead of us in cotton production right now is Lamu. But in another 3 years, we hope to produce half of Kenya's cotton. What we need to do is to gene it here. We don't want it to be gened away from here. Then we're also having a county aggregation and industrial park. What we'd like is I grow my nuts, I can bring them to the aggregation center. So we hope that by December, the county aggregation and industrial park will be done. This is done, it's being done in all the counties. There are 13 counties that are coming fast. So we hope that in December we will have that done and we can aggregate our farmers' produce. Then we are the largest producers of fish, tilapia, suppliers in the country through an investment called the Victory Farms, who are farming fish in the Sindo area. And they're also now processing the fish there. And we hope that we can transition our farmers from fishermen to fish farmers. We have given about 12 cages at the moment. We hope to increase that to over 30 cages so that when you go out on the lake at night and you don't get any catch, at least you have a fallback where you can come and get your fish from the cages. And I also wish you guys could have time to go see the cages. It's a very interesting phenomenon.
I'd like to see that's in Sindo, eh?
Right.
Yeah.
In Sindo. We'd like to go there. It's about break time in about a minute. But I just want to come back and ask on the cotton and the ginning.
Yeah.
Because I remember having a conversation with you about this 2 years ago, and you said, you know what, we are supporting our farmers in cotton production. We want to increase our production, but then increasing production is not enough. You said the same thing that you've said today. I just want to know the progress in terms of the setting up of the ginnery and where then the uptake of what the farmers are producing. If they're producing more cotton, where is it going now? How is it benefiting them more? Are they earning more? And also, all those things. If you're the biggest producer of ngwashe in the country, did you know?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, sweet potatoes, yes.
Yeah, the biggest producers, second largest producer of sunflower, nuts, largest producer. So where are all these things going and how are they benefiting the local farmers? But let's take a break. At 27 minutes past 7, we're having a conversation with the governor of Homa Bay County, because we're in Homa Bay. You've got to talk with the pride. We're in Homa Bay, in the Bay Area. Devolution Conference is taking place here this year, but Governor Gladys Wanga is here to tell us about the Homa Bay experience, what you need to come and experience in Homa Bay, even if not during this devolution conference, even if you come next week, next year, what can you do? And also the people of Homa Bay, what's making them tick? How are they benefiting from the fruits of devolution, if at all? That's what we're discussing. We'll be back in a moment.
At all times.
From Homa to the Bay. Nice. Governor, you know, we talked about where we were this morning. It was dark when we started at 6 a.m. And I said, we are in a park in Homa Bay. Now the sun is right up there, and we can now clearly see. Where are we, Governor?
This is the Governor's Park in Homa Bay. It's a public space that we when we came in was more or less like a neglected, abandoned area. On the upper side where you have the pavilion up there, you know, there were big rocks and mud. People would hide behind there and so on. But we felt there was need to create a public space where, you know, Homa Bay people can rest, but can also do their weddings, can do their functions, you know. Homa Bay people love to sing, so they can do music recordings. But also when we have functions like what we're having here today, we're having over 2,500 women coming from across the 4 counties of Siaya, Kisumu, Homa Bay, and Migori, discussing the triple threat of HIV infections, new HIV infections, sexual and gender-based violence, and teenage pregnancies. And it's a conversation we're going to have because we are the leading counties in some of these areas. So this is what we've created, the Governor's Park. And apart from this, we have an arboretum, which is on, I hope you'll find a few minutes to visit. It's on the lakefront. Again, a public area. We are just finishing it up. We also hope to have it opened tomorrow. And, you know, the public can rest as they watch the lake. In addition to what we've created at the lakefront, there's also a lakefront park and an amphitheater. So when you go to the fish market, I hope you'll be able to cross over and see the amphitheater, which is a public performance place right in front of the lake, where people can have their concerts, Christmas carols, and so on. So in addition to the hard stuff, we are also looking at quality of life issues.
Very important. That one I give it to you.
100%.
Public places and especially recreational areas that are open to the public are very, very important. You know, come here and have a meeting or just chill or just walk around. Go to the Arboretum and just walk around. Go to the amphitheater, sit there, watch performances or perform. It's absolutely, absolutely brilliant. And I think for that one, congratulations.
Thank you, Eric.
Yeah, but also it sounds like you've done a lot in 3 years. Right? What are you proudest of?
Barely.
So barely 3 years. First of all, I wanted to even ask about that approach, because you also seem very measured, but it just sounds like a lot of work. So number one, how were you able to stay motivated to see it through? Number two, what have you been proudest of so far?
Yeah, thank you, Janet. Yeah, there's a lot that has gone on, and it's not been me alone first. It's been a team. My team down here, but we've also succeeded in partnering with, development partners, the national government, because if you look at county money alone, you can't manage many things because you will not move. I'm looking at our health sector, and what we've done with maternal mortality.
Yes, you talked briefly about when we hosted you last, right? Yeah.
And now we are, I think, on our 90th day without a single mother dying. That makes me very happy. Yeah, that makes me very happy, and it is not easy because we were losing 3, 4, sometimes as high as 8 mothers a month if you between private and public facilities. But 90 days without a single death is a big thing, in the sense that for you to create that is not easy because it's not in your hands. Your facilities are as far-flung as Mfangano Island. So what we've done with having blood banks in most of our sub-county facilities, because we were looking at postpartum hemorrhage as one of the leading causes of mothers dying. So we are bringing blood close. We signed that agreement with Zipline so that in the very, very far-flung areas, the drones can drop blood as soon as it is needed. Then we, through the Council of Governors, went to Uganda. Our teams went to Uganda and saw what they were doing on maternal mortality. They were doing reviews, MPDSR. They were reviewing every death among themselves. It's a peer review.
Right.
So every Tuesday at 7 a.m., any mother who died across the facility in charge, whether you're private or you're public, you come to that meeting. It's virtual. And it is attended by myself and many other healthcare workers. I attend, but I don't speak mostly. I just listen because the terms are too technical for me sometimes. But your own peers will say, okay, so you present how the mother died, and then they tell you, no, here you should have reported earlier, or did you sense, did you not see the indicators? Why was the referral time too long? And we've had to close some private facilities, by the way, where we felt like there was a lot of neglect. And then on Thursday morning, now you have a continuous professional development, a CME, continuous medical education. So if what was seen there was, people not being able to get pressure right or whatever it is, the CME comes on Thursday. And with this MPDSR, people have taken so much responsibility because you have to explain. And if you are negligent, then everybody will tell you, hapo ulizamisha. And that is what has led us to where we are. So we've improved our facilities. Whether you talk about the referral hospital here, we brought new dialysis machines, we brought a CT scan. We are currently hiring more nurses. What we are facing is pressure on number of staff. Our staff are few compared to what we have, what we need to take care of. Whether you go to Rachonyo South, whether you go to Mfangano Island, a place called Soklo in the hills where they didn't have, a proper maternity area. We've done a lot of facilities in the rural areas. We still have work to do because there are facilities that we have finished that are yet to be opened because of the staff issue, but we are currently hiring new nurses, clinical officers, and a good number of medical staff.
To get ahead. I know Eric had asked a question, but just before that, and in light with what you've been proud to be able to achieve, and even outside of healthcare, what what do you sort of regret as a gap that you wish you had closed by now?
I think still in health.
So it's still health. It's not outside of health.
Yeah, it's still in health. Yeah. I think we can do a lot more than we are doing, especially in terms of making sure our facilities are not getting stockouts of medicines and so on, and also that we have more staff. It's a funding issue to a large extent, but I wish we can close it closer. And also, I think I said it, the very first time I came to Fixing the Nation, I talked about SHA. And I said SHA is working. I was bashed. I was nilimalizwa karibu nimalizwe hii dunia. But today I can still just stand by my word and say that SHA is improving the quality of service within our facilities, because facilities that were not receiving any money, for example, the lower level facilities, a facility can now get even 150,000 in 14 days. That is enough to run that facility. The higher level facilities are getting as high as 10 million, 15 million, 20 million, some as high as 40 million. And now the facilities are able to run themselves. So what we are looking at is how do we enhance accountability for these resources? Because money goes directly to the facility. So how do we enhance accountability? How do we make sure that the money is used for the right things, so that we are not doing a gate when we don't have an ultrasound, you know, things like those. So those are the things we're looking at in terms of prioritization.
But do people understand? Do the citizens understand the importance? For example, why must I register for SHA and so on and so forth? What benefits do I get? What facilities should I go to? Have people gotten to understand that?
I think there's been progress. And why I say there's been progress is by the time NHIF was closing, only 19% of Homa Bay people were registered on NHIF. We found it at 6%. We moved it to 19%. Right now, we are at 46%. Registration on SHA. I think it is progress. The transition from monthly payments to annual payments, I think has slowed down a bit. But again, if we don't do annual payments, we're going to close the scheme. Because I come, I pay for 1 month, maybe I'm at 500. So once I pay 500, I get treated. SHA is billed 30, 40, 50,000, depending on what happened. Then I go home and I don't pay again because now I'm well. So the 1 year is necessary, but of course, because people can't get 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 at a go, it's slowing down registration a bit.
I was going to ask, of the 46%, also how many are contributing SHA members?
I think we will just work with the overall. Maybe we just work with the overall contribution numbers because I don't know specifically for Homa Bay what the contribution. But I think the reason it was moved to annual is because people registered but they were not contributing.
Okay. I was thinking through something Jared had said earlier, and we've been discussing this last mile devolution, and Homa Bay is quite big, and we speak of all these islands, and it's an amazing thing to see, and from even a tourist perspective and from an experience perspective, but from devolving, it must also prevent its challenges, right? So how do we make sure that devolution reaches the last mile within Homa Bay in every sense of the word, whether it's healthcare, whether it's electricity, education, whether it's even just service provision, so that people from all across Homa Bay are getting the benefits of devolution?
Thank you. So one of the things we did early in the day was to borrow the Makueni model of public participation. It's a village cluster model. So Makueni did very well. So we brought the guys who did it in Makueni, told them, can you help us? So we developed our public participation and civic engagement bill, and it forms clusters at the village level. So say, for example, we were doing our CIDP. Every sublocation has 3 clusters. So people sit in their villages and prioritize development. Say we are giving seeds for maize or whatever. It is the villagers who sit and decide, in our village, we are going to give so and so and so and so and so and so. They just give us a list through our ward administrators. If we give bursaries, we no longer give bursary forms. People sit in the village clusters and they agree that we tell them your cluster has 10 bursary slots. Then they say, so and so's home received last year so and so's home, then they give us a list of the 10 people.
Okay.
It is compiled at the ward level, and you can't change a name on it. It comes to the county, and we just disperse the bursaries. So in terms of development reaching, we have 40 wards. And so we have our MCAs. Every year we agree on what we need to do. For example, we found our early years learning classrooms. Only 23 had been done in the last 10 years. In the last 2.5 years, we have done 243 through a model, a labor-based model. So what we do is we don't contract. We create a committee at the village level, and at the school level. So say we want to do at Mariam School. We create a committee there. We send the money from here to that account. They get a local fundi. The local committee manages the money. Within 6 weeks, the classroom should be done and the resources local. That's how we've done 243 in the last 2.5 years. And this year we're going to do another 200. So we'll have 443 classrooms. So that's how we are taking... we are devolving this thing, not to the wards, to the villages.
The very last mile.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to come back into the question of, economic uplifting of Homa Bay.
Yeah.
And you talked about this. So you hosted the investment conference, brought in investors and said Homa Bay is ready to engage. And you sold. You keep selling the potential of Homa Bay. Whether it's tourism, whether it's on the fish, whether it's on agriculture, on all those things. But then, like on cotton and the others on the nuts, how are farmers now benefiting that more than they were doing before? Where is their produce going? Are they earning more? Are we having value addition in Homa Bay?
Yeah. So we've almost doubled the acreage of cotton. The thing about value addition, it's like a chicken and egg situation. In the sense that if you want an investor to come, they want to see production. They don't want to come and set up a multi-million investment only not to find input. So like the Gina that's coming here is the one now taking the cotton. He has another Ginary in Baringo, in Salawa. So he's the one taking the cotton from here to there. But he says when we reach the threshold that is able to sustain his Ginary here, he's going to construct. But I've also told him, if you don't construct within the next couple of months, we're also not going to allow you to take our cotton out to Baringo. So I think we have increased production. We have given input, a lot of input, worth tens of millions to the farmers, more than has ever been given. So the production is now increasing. And once it goes up, I'm sure we're going to have the ginning happening here. I'm giving myself up to December to have RVP, Rift Valley Products, who agreed to do the ginning, to start their work.
Okay. As you host this year's Devolution Conference, is there a concrete outcome that you want delegates to leave with? Or I was going to say an experience, but we've spoken to that. But is there a concrete outcome that you want delegates to leave with, not just about devolution, but also just integrating what you're doing in Homa Bay?
I think this year we are discussing inclusion, and we are discussing how we are bringing the people on board. This year's conference is different in the sense that it's about the people. It's not about counties and governments, and it's about the people telling us, you have failed us here. We want you to correct it. That's what we want to hear. You're failing here, you're failing here, we are not feeling included here. It's not equitable here, so that we can take those that feedback. We will not sulk, from the feedback. We want the feedback. Yes. We want the feedback raw. You're going to have a lot more conversations. We want the people to talk about what they think is working, which will be good, but also what they think is not working. Because we still have time to correct what is not working. So from the Devolution Conference, not just for Homa Bay, for all the 47 counties, and the side events in this year's Devolution Conference are not government-driven. We've asked the people, civil societies and other people to be the ones to come on board and do side events that make sense to them. So we are not the ones saying, Ministry of Water, sit here, tell us. No, they are very people-driven. So, Janet, to answer your question, I hope we can leave with candid feedback from the people, so that we are not sitting thinking devolution is working, yet people are saying you're corrupt, you're stealing money, you're not equitable, you're nepotists, you're this, you're that. We want to hear all that and agree on a framework to make corrections, because devolution thrives because of the people. When the people lose confidence, even counties can be folded and people will not resist. Yeah.
I know this is going to be asked a lot over the next few days, but the 2 or 3 biggest ways we can strengthen and continue to strengthen devolution, and I'll ask from a perspective of what already exists but it's just not being done well enough, and what we may perhaps need to look into as far as strengthening devolution.
So you're asking what we...
Yes. The things that we should be working harder at. Maybe they already exist constitutionally, and we are just not putting enough into them. And then perhaps the things that we haven't thought of or we haven't been keen on, but we should look into to strengthen devolution.
So I think one thing that is ailing devolution at the moment is underfunding. So expectations are very high. For example, the whole of health is devolved. In Homa Bay, we have over 2,500 healthcare workers whom we have to pay. And you know, healthcare workers, their salaries are not at low. No, they are not. They are well paid. I mean, they're
not exorbitant, but they're not low.
They are not low, so it's a heavy bill. So underfunding is a big thing as far as devolution is concerned. And this one, I'm not talking about when money comes. I'm talking about how much money comes. Because when we costed the functions, counties should receive at least 560 billion. But we are receiving 450. The gap is too huge.
Too large.
So if there's something that should be done to make devolution work, just bring more money. And we're not saying get more money, because there's no money. You know, the economy is struggling. But we're just saying functions that are devolved, get their money out of Nairobi and bring it to the counties. Just that. It's not a very hard request. If health is devolved, why is 100 billion in Nairobi? Why? Take even 60 of those billions and bring them to counties, so that we're able to give services.
So that the funds follow the functions.
Then I think we should enhance accountability, so that people don't feel like we are, because there's a feeling, when the Auditor General says this, Controller of Budget says that, so we are bombarded from every corner on the issue of accountability. So I think without political malice, we should just be able to enhance accountability for the resources that we receive. We should be able to, like now during the conference, give a report, but also report to our people continuously what we've been able to do to them with the money that we get.
Governor, do you think the champions of devolution should come together and protect devolution by calling out those in devolution who are not accountable? Because we see 47 governors, they'll keep changing, but then you see some counties are doing well, some are not doing well. Some have 10 years of being behind, and within 3 years they are changing that. And you just have to ask yourself the question, where were the governors when some of these counties were not doing well? When you go and you're proudly saying, this is what I'm doing, and this is what the people of Homa Bay are getting in terms of value for money, and you can see another one who is not doing that, why can't you call them out? Or should we?
No, I think it is not the place of, peers. If I say, me, I'm doing very well, you should do, it just doesn't, augur. But what I think...
You have done it very well with MPDSR. It's not calling out for bad things.
I know.
It's the same way you're telling us, medics come together and they're like, so what happened in your area? What have you done? So maybe you needed to have done this better.
I think, yes. I'll yield and say, yes, we need to do more peer learning, sharing. We do a lot of benchmarking also across counties. And Eric, I don't want to say that, Homa Bay is the perfect county. No. We have made strides, but we also have a long way to go. We have a lot of challenges. We have a lot of complaints still from the people of what they think we need to do. Changing systems is not easy. No. Actually, when I came into government, I thought changing, doing buildings and so on is the most difficult. But I discovered, no. Changing attitudes, changing people is
Mindsets,
mindsets is much more difficult. Buildings kumbe are the easiest part of this journey, because people are used to doing things a certain way. You know, they've done it for long. Simple things like just keeping time. For example, I would come to the office and the meeting is at 8. Some people, you know, you just see somebody coming in there at 9, you know, they're just coming. So those are some of the things.
And they ask you, hey, umekuja mapema.
You know?
Or they say, "Abari governor," like everything is fine. That time she's
like
been there for an
everything is
hour.
okay. You've just been going. So those are some of the things that we've changed by practice. You know, like I'm in the office at 7 o'clock, like clockwork, every single day. And if I say 7, it's 7. So over time, you see that when I arrive at 7, it's no longer even a question. Everybody is seated. You know, everybody is there. So, but those things take a lot of energy and a lot of time, because you can't sleep as the leader. So even if I'm going to jump in the middle of the night and come, I mean, you cannot sleep. Because if you start keeping people waiting, you said 7, you yourself arriving at 7:30. Tomorrow you say 7, they will themselves say, she will come at 7:30. So it takes a lot of personal discipline and sacrifice also to change some of those attitudes.
Governor, we thank you very much for joining us today. Yes, we are here for the Homa Bay experience. We're going to do that whole thing that you've told us.
I hope you guys have a plan and you're not running back to Nairobi. I don't know.
You've given us
Mariam, hakuna kukimbia Janet.
You've given us an itinerary.
I've already been given the job of creating an itinerary, and I'm on it. And the mausoleum, the context is what we need. The mausoleum was definitely there. I wanted to see Rusinga. I wanted to see Takawiri as well. And if possible, a raw and antelope for Eric.
Okay.
Just 1 or 2. Tukibahatika, we'll be so happy. But of course, thank you so much for having us,
Thank
Governor.
you so
In the
so
next
much.
hour, we will be having a baraza with more of the leadership from Homa Bay County, from residents of Homa Bay County and others. And we'll be talking about, you know, what devolution is and what devolution means, and whether it's offering a service. And then, Mariam,
I'm going to the market. Yes. You will know which market in just a minute. But it's, of course, what's that one at Homa Bay anyway, right? Let's see how it comes to life in the morning. It's a Tuesday morning. What's happening at the fish market? People are coming from the water, offloading. It's now peak trade time. Let's see what that looks like. Tuone how money moves in Homa Bay.
It's a new market. It was made in the shape of a fish or something.
Shape of waves.
It's
So it's waves like this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Uchukue aerial shot. Kama una aerial shot by the way, usikuja.
Kama sina drone nisirudi. Aya, sawa,
Come back to
Keep it here for more conversations. We are live in Homa Bay County, fixing the nation one conversation at a time. This week, it's a devolution conversation. Back in a moment.